Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are live. This is United Daily Live, the place for all your latest Manchester United news, headlines, transfer rumours, all that good stuff. And Fabrizio Romano has been on absolute fire today. Not only earlier on in the day did he bring us news on Jadon Sancho and how a deal had almost been agreed between the clubs, and United and Dortmund were in advanced stages for that deal to happen. We covered that live on Stretford Paddock earlier on today. But also, we have had this news coming in on Alexis Sanchez today as well. And latest news has just broken through in regards to an Inter Milan signing Alexis Sanchez on a permanent deal. He's even given it the here we go, which means this one is done and dusted. So we'll be looking at all these reports in relation to Alexis Sanchez leaving Manchester United, but also what it means in terms of incoming to Manchester United, as we know that deal for Jadon Sancho is very, very close. Now, all Manchester United fans have been confident that we would be able to sign Jadon Sancho, but we've been fearing that it might be dragging on a little bit into the summer, into the next few weeks, and close to when the Premier League season starts. And thankfully, it looks like we may be getting a resolution to that sooner rather than later. But we will go back over those reports in a little bit, because it's Inter Milan and Alexis Sanchez reports are fresh. Now, up until now, we heard that Inter Milan had been told by Manchester United that Alexis Sanchez is expected back before the Europa League campaign starts. We didn't grant them permission to include Alexis Sanchez in their squad. That was obviously a ploy by Manchester United to get this permanent deal done. Now, Alexis Sanchez has had some really good form in the last couple of weeks, which has meant Inter Milan have seen more beneficial for them to keep him at the club. We also know Lautaro Martinez is probably going to leave Inter Milan this summer, so they're going to be looking to keep as many attacking players as possible. Alexis Sanchez has a great relationship with Romelu Lukaku, his former Manchester United teammate, and it's clear that he wants to stay at that club. The problem was, could they afford his transfer fee and or his wages? And it looks like Manchester United have seen it fit to take a hit on any possible transfer fee in order to just get Alexis Sanchez off their wage bill. And this is the story from Fabrizio Romano. He says there is total agreement reached between Inter and Manchester United on a permanent deal. Here we go. Inter Milan will not pay any fee to Manchester United. He'll join for free, and Inter will take charge of his full wage. Sanchez will earn 7 million euros per season. So he's still on the same wage that he was on at Manchester United, at Inter Milan. They are taking on his whole wage now. So Manchester United have simply said, alright, cool, we don't want a fee, we'll back off on the fee, you guys just take Alexis Sanchez off our wage bill. Because if we would have agreed another loan deal, it would have meant that we would have been paying half or part of his wages, and we still would have had him on our wage bill, causing problems. But what we've opted to do is just say, right, we didn't pay a wage fee, a transfer fee for him. If you remember, it was a swap deal. We gave up Henrik Mkhitaryan. They gave us Alexis Sanchez. Now, we obviously wanted Alexis Sanchez to work out. It clearly hasn't. So just cut your losses. Get rid of him. You're not going to get a transfer fee for him. All right, get him off your wage bill. We're obviously going to be looking to pay Jadon Sancho a decent sum. I'm sure it'd be over 150 grand, maybe around 200 grand a week for Jadon Sancho. And we'll be looking to sign a few more players as well. And Alexis Sanchez will probably pretty much cover the signings wages that we make this summer. Getting his wages off the wage bill will probably cover all of the signings we make, or at least most of it. So it's a fantastic move for Manchester United, and I'm really thankful that we've got this sorted out ASAP, because I'm sure that would have affected things as well in terms of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being able to offer wages or being able to sign players, that he would have probably been constantly told that, hey, look, Ed Woodward and all those guys would have been saying, we've got to get some wages off the wage bill, because Alexis Sanchez is still there and he's not playing for us. So the fact that we can get him off the wage bill is absolutely fantastic for us. I don't care about whether there's a transfer fee or not. And Fabrizio Romano coming through in clutch, giving it the here we go, saying there's a total agreement has been found for Alexis Sanchez to join Inter Milan. They will simply take over his contract, his big contract. There will be no transfer fee, and he will be out of Manchester United's hands, out of our hair, and we won't have to worry about paying his wages. Somebody's wages that will probably be coming in is Jadon Sancho, and earlier on in the day Fabrizio Romano gave us an update on that as well. He has been on fire today. He's been giving Sergio Aurier news. He's been giving loads of different news, but he gave the news 5 hours ago today that Manchester United were in negotiations with Borussia Dortmund for Sancho, and they were at an advanced stage. Man United always wanted to pay him using add-ons and instalments after the virus. Still no agreement, but talks are ongoing. Personal terms are not a problem. His contract would be until 2025. Sancho is now waiting to understand if the two clubs will find an agreement or not. He'd like to join Man United, but it's up to the clubs, and Dortmund are pushing to decide soon because they need a replacement and Sancho will leave. He also said in that story, Fabrizio Romano, that Manchester United were looking to pay a fee of around 100 million euros up front. So around £90 million up front for Jadon Sancho, and then 20 million euros in performance-related add-ons. That's contrary to the reports from Bild yesterday, which were that Manchester United were looking to pay 70 million euros up front with a further 30 million and 20 million in add-ons, not performance-related add-ons in just, payments over months. So that was the story from Bild yesterday. But regardless of whether the payment thing, I'd tend to side with Fabrizio Romano on the payment kind of structure. But regardless of that, it looks like United may be getting closer to getting Sancho and getting Sanchez off the wage bill at the same time. And I'm sure they kind of go hand in hand with each other in terms of the money men at the club as well. Liam Hardy says, what are your thoughts on Greenwood getting a tattoo? Is he getting distracted from football? Nah, he's not. It's off season anyway. I don't really care about that. Get as many tattoos as he wants as long as he keeps scoring goals. Thank you for your super chat, by the way, mate. Anoop says, is Sancho eligible for playing latter stages of Europa League? He is not. Timo's already training at Chelsea. He can train with them now. There's nothing stopping him training with Chelsea, but he won't be competing with them in the Champions League. You can only use players that were registered to play for you after the last transfer window in January. So any players that are signed, they can train with your team, but they can't get involved in the games up until the new domestic campaigns and all that kind of thing starts, and the new 2021 campaigns do start. Money in the bank for Grealish then, says David. Yeah, if we can get that payment for Jadon Sancho staggered out a little bit more, it means there's more money in the bank, not only for Grealish, for any other potential signings as well. So that could be good for Manchester United. Hopefully we can still raise 30 million plus in player sales to pump up our transfer kitty, says Andrew Marshall. Samoans back in the house, as I was saying, finally we are getting rid of our biggest Deadwood. And Asmar has just got here and says, what did I miss? Well, you've missed the report from Fabrizio Romano that Alexis Sanchez has found total agreement with Inter Milan, and Manchester United have found total agreement with Inter Milan for a deal to see Alexis Sanchez join Inter Milan on a permanent. Now United will receive no transfer fee, but Inter Milan will pay his full wages, so we've got him off the wage bill. Happy days for Manchester United. Shame there's no fee, but I don't think it's the end of the world considering we got him in on a free anyway. Any update on selling the Deadwood, says Rahul? Nothing as of yet. Just Sanchez. And obviously Chris Smalling looks like he could be returning to Manchester United after recent reports that there was no deal agreed with Roma for his permanent signing. So he could be returning back to Manchester United. So if he comes back to Manchester United, we've then got to find a sale for Chris Smalling. The good thing about Chris Smalling is he's been in good form all season for Roma. So even if Roma don't sign him permanently, there's been talk about Juventus, Inter Milan, funnily enough, being linked with him. But there's also been talk as well about a few Premier League clubs. Maybe a Premier League club will come in for him too and offer us more money than any of those Italian clubs. You could see someone in the Premier League offering 15, 20 million pounds for him, can't you? So I'm sure that could work for Manchester United. I still expect Chris Smalling will leave Manchester United, despite the fact I was joking earlier that Chris Smalling's going to return and help us win the league. Jadon Sancho deal is in advanced stages as well. That's another one coming from the tieriest of honest sources in Fabrizio Romano, and he's saying that Manchester United are in advanced stages for Jadon Sancho deal to be done. That deal is going to be 100 million euros up front plus 20 million euros in add-ons. That's 90 million British pounds for Jadon Sancho, with the rest coming in add-ons. And that would be a deal that I think is pretty good for us, to be honest with you. I think Jadon Sancho is worth a club record transfer fee. I think he's worth a British record transfer fee as well. I think he's a fantastic talent, 20 goals, 20 assists. I think only Messi has done that in a league campaign, top 5 leagues this season. Jadon Sancho's a very, very talented player. He's a very special player as well. And I think you're getting your money's worth in terms of commercial revenue, in terms of, he's got a higher ceiling, he's got much more potential to develop on, in terms of what he can help you do as a team. Obviously, he's English, that comes with a premium. Obviously, there's going to be a fair few clubs interested in him if the price is lower. So Sancho deal being in advanced stages is great news for Manchester United. There's no shirt number yet. Alien Tenno saying, what's his shirt number going to be? But I think we can all guess that his shirt number will be number 7. You hear about Memphis Depay possibly being lined up as a replacement for Jadon Sancho at Borussia Dortmund as well. It could be a merry-go-round of Manchester United 7s, couldn't it? Jadon Sancho, the new number 7 coming in. Alexis Sanchez, our former number 7, making a permanent deal to Inter Milan. And our old number 7, Memphis Depay, replacing Jadon Sancho at his former club. That could be the merry-go-round that we see take place. But if this news is all true, and I think the Alexis Sanchez one, I think we're safe to say Inter Milan have got a permanent deal for him. Fabrizio Romano isn't going to fanny around with that kind of news. He's not going to be wrong, especially when he gives it the here we go. We all know what that means. So Alexis Sanchez signing for Inter Milan, I think that is a dead cert. I think that's a guarantee now. But the Jadon Sancho one is still in advanced stages. Now, anything can happen from that advanced stages. The clubs could decide that it's not a deal that they want to pursue and that it could fall through flat on its arse. But I've got a feeling this one won't be the case. It's simply Manchester United now negotiating the structure of that deal. It seems we're going to pay 120 million euros for him. It's how we paid at 120 million euros, 60, 70, 80, 90 million up front, or 100 million up front, and then the rest in add-ons or whatever. So it looks like that deal is going to happen. It's just how it's going to happen. Jadon Sancho is believed to have already agreed a deal with Manchester United, and that was reported by Sky Sports too, who came out and said that Jadon Sancho had agreed terms with Manchester United. They're pretty much reiterating what Fabrizio Romano has said as well in that, because they're saying, Jadon Sancho has agreed terms. Fabrizio Romano and all those guys have said that, and they have gone and said, Sky Sports have, Manchester United close to agreeing personal terms on a 5-year deal. United are close to agreeing personal terms in principle on a 5-year contract with Jadon Sancho as discussions continue at an advanced stage with Borussia Dortmund over the structure of the fee. Now, I think Sky Sports are just trying to get in the mix. They're just trying to get in the mix on this deal and get a story out there. That's probably from Fabrizio Romano's story, or they're just putting something out there. Now, what they're saying is we're close to agreeing personal terms in principle. I think it's been quite known for a couple of months that Manchester United have had personal terms agreed with Jadon Sancho for a bit of time now. We've had it agreed for a fair bit of time, so I think it's the personal terms are done. It's simply getting this deal done for Jadon Sancho with Borussia Dortmund. Now this Inter Milan deal is done for Alexis Sanchez. I'm sure we'll see things speeding up in terms of the Jadon Sancho deal as well. And if we can get that Jadon Sancho deal done, early-ish doors, isn't it? If we can get it done this week, then you can focus on signing other players as well. Are we going to get a Grealish? Are we going to get anybody like that? So it leaves you time now, because we thought the Jadon Sancho deal was going to be one that takes a lot of our time. It leaves you time now to pursue other targets, which will be great for Manchester United. We've got over 1,000 people in the house yet again. Not quite as much as yesterday, but nevertheless a healthy amount. Get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing to AdamMcKola TV as well, and get joining if you can. Alien Tenno says we get 20% of the Zaha deal, which could be for 15 million. I think he's going to go for around 40 to 50 million pounds. Obviously depends who comes into Crystal Palace, to be fair, but I could see him leaving for 40, 50 million pounds. If we're going to get 20% of that, you're probably looking at around 8 to 10 million pounds, which isn't bad at all. Talking about that, City get some money if we buy Jadon Sancho as well, which is quite mad. It's not mad, but you know what I mean. It's beneficial to them. Asmar Anthony, thank you very much for your comment, mate. I appreciate that. We also heard Gabriel Magalhaes was linked with Manchester United, and I think there's been some updates on this fella in the last couple of days. So let me just find the Gabriel Magalhaes stuff. Sorry, 1 second. Where is it? All right. So, Man United. This is coming from Mohamed Bouhafsi, who's answered a tweet on Twitter. Fairly reliable source. He says more or less the same as Gabriel. Manchester United have inquired, but there are no offers in Monaco yet. So that's the story coming from Mohamed Bouhafsi in regards to Gabriel and Benoit Badiashile, that we have inquired, but there are no offers in Monaco yet. Now, United could have inquired just on the off chance that they might be interested in one of them, but they might have targeted somebody else. Now, whether Gabriel Magalhaes comes to United or not remains to be seen. But I don't really feel like that one is one that's going to happen, the Gabriel one. I really don't. So I'm not really paying much attention to that one at this moment in time. I don't know how you guys are feeling about that one. Have you heard anything else in regards to Gabriel Magalhaes? Let us know. James Christou says with the super chat, for your information, I'm in Australia, so I've gotten up at 4:30 to watch. Thank you very much, James. That's how good you are. Nice one, man. I appreciate your support and I appreciate your comment as well. Make sure you're sticking up. The next one, we might be live at 10:30 today, depending if there's any news out. If there's no more news, and this will probably be the last United Daily of the day, but we're supposed to be going live every single day at 10:30. So if we're going to stick to that, we should probably be going live. DiMarzio has tweeted that Man United will save 60 million euros, his salary on the 2 remaining years of his contract, by allowing Alexis Sanchez to join Inter Milan for free. 60 million euros saved on his salary by allowing him to join Inter Milan for free. Inter Milan will not pay a fee, and he will join with Inter paying his full wage. So happy days for Manchester United. I think you can see that as a positive start to the summer, with all the talks that are ongoing in regards to Alexis Sanchez, in regards to Jadon Sancho, and in regards to everybody else. Obviously, Chris Smalling looks like he's heading back. We need to get that one sorted out. But apart from that, it's all good. Rashford has also been pictured. What magazine was he pictured on the cover of today? I've forgotten already, but it was one of the big ones, that's for sure. That's it, Vogue magazine. Good old Marcus on the front of Vogue magazine with Activism Now, the title, and he's released a few quotes as well in Vogue, and he says, I would have failed everyone that had helped me get to where I am today if I didn't put myself out there and say this is not okay, it needs to change. In fact, I would have failed my 10-year-old self. He says plenty of athletes and clubs work within the communities. You might not always hear about it, but that doesn't mean they aren't. It has been instilled in me from a young age that I would use my voice to help others, and I have a great team around me who have always encouraged me to just be myself. When the U-turn came I was from the government regarding free school meals, I was shocked. We had little communication from the key decision makers up until that point, but my shock soon turned to pride. I'm a black man from a black family, and I will eventually have black children. I want my children to grow up in a world where, regardless of the colour of your skin, you have the same opportunities to succeed in life. And that is our Prime Minister, Marcus Rashford, in Vogue magazine. Absolutely tearing it up at the moment is Marcus Rashford, on and off the pitch rather, and long may that continue. We've seen pictures today of the first team back in training, the likes of Maguire, Pogba, Rashford, Marshall, all there. Surprisingly enough, I thought Ollie would have gave him maybe a little bit more time off. Are we going to see a shock in the LASK Lynch 11? Are we going to go strong? What's going to happen in terms of that 11? I'm not too sure. I would say go a little bit with some youngsters and the fringe players, and rest your big players like Pogba, Rashford, Marshall, Maguire, etc. Get them boys rested. They need a rest. Give them a rest, and let's focus on dealing with Lask with the fringe players and the under 23s. Great news, says Funtsock. Finally, Sanchez is gone. Prince Vargas is in, saying, don't you think Smalling will have takers in the Prem like a Brighton or a Newcastle? I think that's very, very possible that he could. Aston Villa could lose Tyrone Mings. They could replace him with Chris Smalling. Board are backing Ollie. Ollie is rebuilding for the next United cycle of wins, says David. And with this news coming in regards to Alexis Sanchez, in regards to Jadon Sancho. I think Ollie deserves a lot of the credit for it, because he would have made Jadon Sancho his target from last year. He got his targets done early out, set out his stall, got his signings in. It may have taken a little bit of time to get some deals done, but then he gave the board a simple message in the summer, it looked like last summer. I want Bruno, I want Sancho. Bruno got brought in January, that deal got done. Sancho, it looks like the club have been working on that for a decent amount of time. Now obviously the coronavirus thing has shaken things up a little bit, probably delayed things a little bit, but United have been proactive in trying to get the deal done early. We've got a smaller window of time to be able to make these signings happen, and it looks like United are doing that. In setting the deadline on Alexis Sanchez, Chris Smalling, we know what's going on with their futures. Alexis Sanchez off the wage bill. That is so big for Manchester United to get him off the wage bill. Like DiMarzio saying, 60 million quid or euros saved for Manchester United over the next 2 years in getting him off our wage bill. It's a massive move by Manchester United, and bringing Jadon Sancho in, who will be on less than half the wages of what Alexis Sanchez was, and is twice the player that Alexis Sanchez currently is absolutely fantastic. And I am excited to see Jadon Sancho, Martial, Rashford, Mason Greenwood, say it again, in the team with Bruno Fernandes, Pogba behind them pulling the strings. It's going to be absolutely magical for United, and hopefully getting these players in a little bit earlier means we can focus on getting more players in, like Jack Grealish, like a centre half maybe, getting them in the remaining weeks to come. But once you have your main bit of the puzzle fitted in there, which is the right winger, I think that's the key position we have to fix. Your whole summer starts to look a little bit easier as the time progresses. Sport Witness have said we've agreed the Sancho deal, says Aaron. It won't be Sport Witness who say that. It won't be Sport Witness who say that. Sport Witness, what they do is they share other people's stories. So what Sport Witness have shared is Sky Germany's report. So Sky Deutschland have reported a new development in the move to Manchester United. Agreement on personal terms. The heat around Jadon Sancho to Man United has risen so much on Monday that it would be no surprise if some fans are already tracking private jets booked to travel out of Germany. However, the claims today have almost certainly been coming from England, with the slant of things being imminent, not mirrored in Germany. There's been plenty of claims about a deal being in progress, yet not quite as far down the lines as some reports. Now Sky in Germany report a new development. According to their own information, it stated Man United have Sancho have reached an agreement in principle on a 5-year deal. Sky then state that negotiations are ongoing between the Premier League club and Borussia Dortmund, but no agreement has yet been reached. Jesko von Eichmann, who works for Sky, believes neither club wants to lose face, so for that to happen, Dortmund would likely need to get their €120 million headline figure, whilst United will be able to pay instalments. So this is nothing new. What have I already said today? Sky Sports have reported that terms are close to being agreed, and now Sky Germany are basically reiterating that. We've heard that from Fabrizio Romano, reported it earlier on today, with him saying that the talks were in advanced stages and terms were agreed until June. He even said June 2025, 5-year deal. So this is Fabrizio Romano's story being regurgitated in Sky Germany. I said to everyone, believe in process. Ali is mint, says Ala Abu Al Fool. Thank you very much for getting involved, bro. Yeah, I don't know what I said there, Tato, but who cares? We knew what happened in the end. Why can't we go for both Grealish and Van der Beek? I think that would leave us a little bit congested, and those players aren't going to get as many games as they would like to. Yeah, all over the place, lads. All over the place, that pronunciation, but who cares? Inez Fushi is buzzing for the future at Manchester United. I'm absolutely buzzing as well. Jadon Sancho coming in, being United's number 7. Jack Grealish coming in and being... counting my chickens a little bit with Jack Grealish. I'm going to be left heartbroken on that one. I need to stop doing it to myself. It's like Patrick Kluivert in 1998 all over again. But Jack Grealish will be a great signing. But as it looks like, Alexis Sanchez gone. Jadon Sancho on his way. We'll be live at 10:30 today to bring you more Manchester United news. Hopefully we'll have more updates on Jadon Sancho. So make sure you're keeping it locked. Liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. Tomorrow we've got the preview for the LASK Lynch game, and then we've got another United Daily Live, and if there's any other breaking news, we'll be live for that as well. But thank you to all 1,800 of you for tuning in. Make sure you're clicking that like button, comment, share, subscribe. And for now, I have been AdamMcKola. Alexis Sanchez is getting out. Jadon Sancho is coming in. It's going to be a good day, or a good week, hopefully. Until then, till later, 10:30, 2.5 hours. I'm out of here. See you later.